Hello, hello. I'm Damu the Fudge Monk. Pause, as they say. I'm in a group, Y Society. I do all the beats. It's like Gangstar, Pete Rock and CL Smooth, the MC DJ duo. I do all the beats and DJing, and then my partner in rhyme, his name's Insight. He's from Boston. He's a notable underground artist. He's doing all the vocals. But I'm sitting here. This is an MPC. Turntables. I do hip hop. I make beats, DJ, and everything. Been doing this for about 7 years. I'm buying records, almost 10 years. And I do it the old way, the original way, the way the vintage producers, the early hip hop producers, paved the way for me to sit here and do this. Some of your favorite producers on the radio, Kanye West or Just Blaze, they also follow in the same vein of producing with records and this machine right here, the MPC. The beats and the rhymes, and it gave me a reason to be cool. I wasn't like the popular kid in school, but I could freestyle or rhyme. That just evolved to me being obsessed with the music, the hip hop music, and eventually started buying records, listening to older music, and starting to find out the samples and things. So then that evolved into buying the turntables, and shortly afterward, around 17, I got my first sampler, and that's when I started making music. I'm 23 now, so I've been making beats for 7 years. I started producing because I was rhyming at the same time. I was DJing and rhyming, and I wanted to have beats to rhyme over. And then I had all these records, and I would hear these samples. It's like, yo, I wish I could just loop this over and over and over. And I had boys that rhymed. It just would have been cool to do it. And it started out as just me, I guess, taking one for the team, going out and buying a sampler to do our music. But then once I got my sampler, it was like I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't want to rhyme. I didn't want to DJ. I literally stayed up for 3 days when I got my first sampler, non-stop. It was great. The music making process varies differently from time to time. Sometimes it comes with me just finding a sample that strikes me right away. Sometimes I find some drums and I chop them up and then I just need a sample. Or sometimes it's just an idea that comes while I'm at work or just walking down the street. You get an idea like, yo, when I get home, that's what I'm gonna work on. I'll go digging. So I go to a record store. I normally walk out with like a box or a bag, a nice hefty pile of records. So when I get home, I got these brand new records, and I'm putting them on, and it just starts sifting through the actual piece of wax. So manually going through, and I do that each record, and then sometimes I'll take notes. So I just go into this whole pile. It's down to zero. The best records I already have the ideas for. I'll take them and loop them up, so I have plans for them. And sometimes, it'll be a song, it's in your head, and you hear it all day, and it's like, yo, why didn't I make a beat out of that? So it comes and goes, and then sometimes I may just take drums, and then I need a sample to go on top of the drums. The records have drum breaks on them, so it's like a drum break. You look for an open part of the song where it's just the drums. And this is a very famous record called Impeach the President. This will sound very familiar.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the honey drippers in the house tonight. And they just got back from Washington, D.C. I think they got something they want to say.
They want to say, impeach the president. Take drums, put them in the sampler, chop them up, and, make something dope out of it.
1, 2, 3, oh, get it!
So this is the creative process, how you sit down, and very simple, just sit down and make a beat. Find a record, and you wait for your part to come up. Nice little groove. Sit there and listen. I like that. This turntable is hooked into the MPC, and right now I have it monitoring what's going into it, and I want to loop this. But because I only have 20 seconds of sample time, in order to put it in there, you have to speed it up. Then you're gonna speed it up very fast. And then alright, so now it's in here. And there you go. You got it looped up. Dun dun. Dun dun dun. So now you have the sample. So what you do, you need some drums. So you find the break beat. Get that in there. Now you got a loop with the drums. And now we're about to filter the sample so you can get the low end, get the bass of the sample like this. Now this sample will be filtered. You will no longer hear the flute. Now that's the bass frequency. It's just, you know, breaking down the basics. Finding a drum beat, sample, very simple, original production techniques. My style is, it's definitely hip-hop centered. It's vintage with a new twist on it. I like to take what I learned and apply that to now, and you know, I'm still doing it the old way, the way of going out digging for records and then putting them in the sampler, cutting them up. But you know, I guess I want to evolve the practices of the greats, you know, DJ Premier, Marley Marl, Pete Rock. That's my personal favorite, and make them relevant now. I'm trying to make it, bring the art form to the forefront again.
If I could go back in time, man, there's so many things I would do, man, so many things. I mean, what would you do, man? I got an idea. Maybe if we could spin around, or I could rhyme real fast, we could travel through time, man, break the time continuum. Yeah, man. Yo, let's try that. If anyone could do it, you know, your man Inside could do it. Try to change a few things, let's see. Don't you wish you could travel in time and travel a crime?